So, another Monday and another bathroom. I told you that I had 3 or 4 bathrooms lined up for this start of this year, and this is the second one I think I'm doing this year. So, let me give you a brief overview of what we're planning with this bathroom. We're going to completely gut it, completely take it out. Now, what the customer wants is a 1400 by 700 tray going in this corner here, with just this glass screen coming across. So obviously we've got to move the rad, move the basin, showers going that end. You're going to have a remote valve here to turn the shower on and off, and then this end they're going to have the riser rail and the rainfall head coming off the top. So that's the shower area. We're then going to have a towel rail here, an old looking Victorian style towel rail. And then this side, obviously, the shower's coming out, toilet's coming out. What we're hoping is that this boxing, we're going to take the boxing down. I'm hoping that the soil pipe doesn't run up internally here, and I'm hoping it's the other side. Possibly, it could be in this corner. If it is, we're going to have to sort something out with it. But what we're going to have is vanity units across this back. So toilet's going there, basin's going there, all in vanity units. Keep it nice and neat. We're retiling the floor, retiling the walls, half height all the way around until we get to the shower area. Then we're going full height with the shower area. New ceiling, downlighters into the ceiling, extractor. So it'll just modernise this bathroom, and switching the basin over to it makes it just that little bit more practical. So we've started off, we've dust sheeted down in the bedroom, and then what I always use is the no nonsense carpet protector. Put it all the way down the hallway, all the way down the stairs, and it just protects the flooring while we're doing this job. So let's get some tools in and begin stripping out this bathroom suite. So I've got all my gear up now, I've got my buckets ready to get the tiles off and to just basically strip this bathroom out. What I'm going to do is isolate the basin, take that out, and take the screen off the shower, get the toilet out, and that gives us a pretty simple run to get these tiles off, whip the rad off also as well. And then obviously 7 years bad luck if I break that, but it is what it is. It'll probably be broken coming off anyway. So let's crack on with that and begin stripping this bathroom out and get it back to a complete bare shower. So we've got the basin out, we've got the toilet out, shower screens out, and this toilet was one that they'd fitted and then tiled up to it. So if ever you've got to try and get that pan out, it always brings the tiles up around it anyway. We're replacing the floor tiles, so it's not a problem. What I'm going to do now is get this mirror out, which I think is going to be a bit of a pain. If it breaks, it breaks. It's part of the job. The amount of mirrors I broke over the time is unreal. So we'll do that, and then we'll begin getting these tiles off, get the floor tiles up, and then luckily it's just around here. Get all this stripped out, and then get the base of the shower tray out. Shouldn't be that bad stripping this one out, to be honest. Old school phone going. Shouldn't be too bad stripping this one out. These floor tiles just come straight up. It looks like they've laid them straight on the chipboard floor anyway, so let's get the tiles off in this bathroom. One of the things when you're removing bathrooms is you're always going to come across a mirror. 7 years bad luck apparently if you break it. Took the 2 screws out the top, going to take the 2 out the bottom. I think it's quite loose, so hopefully I can get it out, get it down and in the skip without breaking it. Then if I lean it up at the side of the skip and it gets broke, it's not down to me. So let's see if I can get it out in one piece. Would be nice. Right, does a crack class as a break? I've cracked it. Let's see. That's a break. It's coming. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. We bust the corner off it. Oh wow, wish me luck. As you can see on that job, we've got our work cut out. There's a loads to do, which gives me the perfect opportunity to give a shout out to this video sponsor, and it is Y Food. The reason why Y-Food is going to be so handy with this job is because A, there's not a shop for miles and miles around, so I'm not going to get a chance to shoot off and get anything to eat, and B, I always forget to make a lunch in the morning. So this is where Y-Food comes in handy. Y-Food is, as you know, a meal replacement. It's not a protein shake, it's not a diet drink, it is a meal replacement. It's 26 vitamins and minerals, comes in so many different flavours. We've got salted caramel here. I've also got the banana one. Now this one is vegan. They do a vegan range. I can't taste any difference, to be honest. They do a vegan range. They've got banana, they've also got a vegan berry, a vegan choco, a vegan coffee, and a vegan salted caramel. So I'm spoiled for choice today. If shakes aren't your thing, they also do the little bars as well. What have we got here? Again, salted caramel, and this one is coconut and white chocolate. And also, Y-Foods like to give me a little discount code. So hit the link below and it'll give you 10% off your first order at Y-Foods. Go onto their website, have a look around. There's plenty of stuff to choose from. Always going to find a drink that you like the taste of. So massive shout out to Y-Food, as always, for sponsoring this video. Right, let's get back to this bathroom and crack on.
Of April, we'll have this band in the radio piano room. It's Depeche Mode.
So it seems that these tiles have been put on properly, which could become a bit of a problem, because we was hoping to just seal up these walls and tank these walls prior to tiling, but if we're going to try and rip them off, we may lose the wall trying to get them off, but we'll see how we get on with it. But it may be that we end up reboarding this wall. We'll have to see. Hopefully they'll begin to come off a bit better. Would be nice. So we're stripping the tiles off these walls now. This is going to cause a little bit of an issue, because what we've got going here is a tray, 700 tray. They're going over to here, so it's going to fill that whole area there. Now, all in the tray area and all this back wall and down here is going to be completely tiled. And then what they wanted to do was come off here and half tile the rest of the bathroom. Now, obviously this wall here is not going to be... We thought when we took the tiles off, or when I come and looked at it, we thought possibly if the tiles come off and it leaves a fairly alright sort of finished wall would be alright, but it hasn't. So what I'm umming and ahhing whether to do now is to just completely reboard this wall in, because it's got to be tiled here. We're going to have to go moisture board and then obviously tank when the shower's going in, because we're going to have to skim this area here, because they want it half height tiled. Now if we put if we're going to put like shower board, jacker board on the back, you can't skim onto jacker board. So what I think we're going to have to do is moisture board this whole area here, and then, as I said, when the tray goes in, completely tank it so it's sealed in. I need to speak to the customer still anyway about it, but just thinking out loud, I think that's going to be the best way to go. But as I said, and when I come and quote the job, I said to the customer, you know, hopefully these walls will be alright, but we don't know until we start taking the tiles off, and it's just completely ripping it off. So for the sake of it, we'll just overboard that with moisture board, as I say, tank the shower area and then skim that area there. This has got to be taken out anyway, so I'm just going to carry on now getting all of this off and exposing exactly what we're dealing with, and we can go from there. So this is a prime example of when a shower area hasn't been tanked, or, I mean, look at this, it's just falling apart, it's just mush. Prime example of when a shower area hasn't been tanked or sealed or anything like that. The water's just over the years regressed into it. It's quite dry in there, but you can see around here where the water's soaked out or whatever it's done to find its way out. It's going to have bodged it through there as well, I assume. Yeah, all grit fill. Wow. It's going to have to be completely reassessed, I think, wall-wise, and now I've just noticed that soil stack is going up about here, so we may have to tweak the design of the units ever so slightly, But we'll get over it. I think what I'm going to do is just completely strip it all out, strip it back, and then, as I say, board on here. This stud-work's got to come out anyway. There's always something. It's like kicking a can of worms, these bathrooms. So we've pushed on with this bathroom now. I'm about due a bathroom that goes pretty much to plan, because the last two, or the last one and this one, seem to be like kicking a can of worms. But anyway, let me run you through where we're at now. Completely stripped out, got all the tiles off, took the stud work out, and we've also got exposed all the pipe work. So we've got a cold feed for the toilet, we've got our hot and colds for the shower. This hot comes from a secondary drawer off. And let me just show you, hopefully, I'm going to have to test it tomorrow to just make sure it is what I think it is. But there's this little drawer off here. I'm going to try and find out if that is feeding that shower. I've put a gate valve on the hot just to be able to isolate the hot a little bit easier. But what I'm going to have to do with that is turn the water off, drain the tank down, and then drain it to this point here to see if that pipe is fed from that. It's like it's a similar sort of principle to an Essex flange, where it's coming off below the top of the cylinder, so it's not pulling in any air for the shower. So I think that is what that is for, even though for some reason it was going to the right hand side of the shower. Now I've double and triple checked that that is hot coming out, which it is. That's cold. I'm assuming tank fed. I'm going to have to double check that as well, but that's another issue we've got to sort out. Also, we've now got to replace this floor in here, because I don't know if you can see it, but it's absolutely rotted away from where the shower cubicle was. Now what we're going to do is overboard this. As I said, I spoke to the customer and he's fine with it. We're going to overboard this wall, tank this area where the shower is going to be. We've got to get the valve in here, and because these walls are only this really thin egg box sort of style ones, we're going to have to mount the valve there, but it's going to be in the back of this cupboard, so we're going to have to pipe it up in the back of this cupboard to there. But you see what I mean? It's not straightforward. There's little bits that we need to sort out. We've got to take this rad off, and because it's just 8mm or 10mm coming down the walls, we've got to get it over to this position here. What I'm going to do with the saw pipe, because that's all it's feeding, is the unit worktop is going to run along here. Now they don't want that ugly box in, and I completely agree. So I'm going to cut this down, put an air admittance valve on the top. As long as that is above the overflow where the cistern's going to be, and the overflow, or the bottom of the basin where the plug is, we'll be fine with that air admittance valve there. So it'll tidy that up. We can then get that boarded, get that dot and dabbed out so it's flush, because we're going to half height tile here, and that's going to be exposed. So, and the same here. That's going to be the shower area tiled there, and then the rest of that is going to be half height tiled. So this has got to be skimmed, but we don't want to skim it before it's tiled, because you don't really want to tile on top of plaster. So it's just the process of trying to work everything out. So we're going to do that. We're going to tile it, then I'm going to get my plasterer back to skim this area and skim that area and blend it in to there. So yeah, this bathroom is another one that is beginning to be a bit of a pain. I just said about, I don't know if I said about this, that's the old shower waste, but I can just see through the floor there, it also tees into that. So we're going to have to cut that out, cut that there, and then come off with 1.5 inches, obviously, to the new shower position. So yeah, hope you've got all that. Hope you've understood the whole process of that, because it's a bit hectic, bit stressful, just getting my head around it. But for day one, I always like to strip a bathroom out, which I have done. So I'm going to have a clean up of it now. I'm going to get this board up, just see what we're dealing with underneath, and I'll probably whip that rad off before I go. So this is the floor. This is where the edge of the existing shower tray was, and you can see, I bet I could probably push my thumb through that, but it's just falling apart. So I'm going to cut this out now, cut this section of floor out. Hopefully it'll tell me a little bit more about these pipes. Obviously the cold main for the toilet we can bring up in the floor, because I think I said they're having vanity units along here with the toilet there, basin there. So bringing them up isn't going to be a problem, but we need to expose the floor because we've got to sort that out anyway. So I've got a bit of this chipboard floor up. There must be something at the minute about chipboard floors, because that last job with the Ellison tank was a chipboard floor and it was a pain in the arse. But we've got to replace this bit and this bit. But I need to expose down here anyway, because we're going to run, luckily that's 2 inch, we're going to drop down to 1.5 inches and run up for the shower there. We've also got to take a hot from the basin, existing basin hot, and bring it down into here. I'm pretty sure now these two are just sole pipes for the shower, but I'm going to trace them back out tomorrow and then we can cut them back. I'm assuming they go around here. We can cut them back and then get them up to where we're going to have that shower valve, which will be very, very handy indeed. So that's about it for today. I'm going to just cover this up so that no one falls down it during the night, and then we'll come back in tomorrow. I've got the chippy coming out tomorrow just to go through a few little things with me with the floor, and what we're going to do here, we're going to dab that out and reboard that, as I've said a few times I think. But yeah, day one, we stripped it out, we've got all the worst of it out, and it's just now getting our head around everything and seeing what's what. I always like to just rip it all out, get a sort of a fresh canvas. Busy old day. Right, let's get home and get ready for day 2.